Hello, dear children. Children, last class we were discussing about the Union Executive, and I had discussed about a very important part of Union Executive, which is the President. And in the last week, we discussed about the powers of President, which all powers he can exercise. Now, today I'm going to cover the other parts of the Union Executive, which is the Vice President, then the PM, Prime Minister, and his Council of Ministers. So let's get started with the Vice President. The Vice President, children, the qualifications of the Vice President are same as those of the President, except that a Vice President should be eligible for membership to the Rajya Sabha, and the term of the Vice President is 5 years only. Okay. Now, what are the functions of a vice president? Functions are, the first foremost function is that the vice president acts as is a chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. In the Rajya Sabha, he is the chairperson, means he is the one who's listening to every member. Okay. Then, in the absence of the president, who is the acting president? It is the vice president. So, if in a country there is no president, or for some reason the president is not able to perform his functions, then who acts as a president? The vice president acts as the president. Okay. Now moving on to the prime minister. The prime minister, who's like we also discussed that a president is the nominal head of a country, but real head or real power lies in the hands of the prime minister. Okay, he is the one who the president of India is also bound to act in accordance with the advice of the prime minister. Whatever the prime minister advises, the president has to act accordingly. Okay, so because in a parliamentary form of government, where there is a central government at the center and at the state level, the real head of the Indian government is the prime minister. Okay, it is the prime minister who exercises all the powers vested in the president. All the powers of the president, which the president has, except the discretionary powers, all the powers can be exercised by the PM. Okay, now this why it is said that he is the real head. He is a real head because he is elected. He's the elected head. The whole the whole population of the country has elected this person as through the process of voting. Okay, as the head of the country, elected head, and otherwise also he is the leader of the majority party. Whosoever is there in the majority, that majority party gives the name of a leader who is chosen as a prime minister. Now, prime minister acts like a link between the president, the parliament, and the people. So that is why he can act just like the president. Okay. Then, as we discussed, that he also advises the president. Okay. He gives various advices. Okay. Regarding the decisions to be taken by the cabinet, and these all advices that he gives, that is a binding on the president. The president has to act in accordance to that. Then the prime minister selects his own council of ministers. Council of ministers is like, you can say that he has his own people, a group of people who work for the prime minister. So he acts as the person who's choosing his own council of ministers. He also has the power to expand the council of ministers. Maybe he can include more people in his cabinet, and he also can ask for the resignation of any person, any member of the council of ministers. Any member can be asked to resign on the request of the prime minister. Okay. Then prime minister, he distributes the portfolios. Portfolios are, children, they are you can say the issues of discussion, or you can say that if one person is handed over education, so one minister has to look after education system of the area, the other cabinet minister has to look after the health of the country. So that is how he distributes the portfolios means different heads. Under different heads the country can be governed. Okay, so he distributes the portfolios, and he also acts as a link between the council of ministers and the parliament. So council of ministers and the parliament, who's the link? The prime minister is the link. Okay, then all these, that is why prime minister is regarded as a leader of the nation, and on Independence Day the prime minister addresses the nation from the Red Fort in Delhi. Okay, so that is why prime minister is, you can say that this, because of all these points, he is the nominal, he's not the nominal head, it's a real head who's acting as the president. All the powers of the president this prime minister can exercise. Now moving on to the council of ministers. Now how are the council of ministers? They are elected first. Once the president chooses the prime minister, the leader of the majority party is chosen as the prime minister. But children, if there is no majority party, then maybe two political parties, they join together and they make one party which shares the majority. Now when two political parties, they join hands, then we say that there is coalition government. Coalition means when two political parties have joined hands. Okay, so they are there, then we say that there is a coalition government. In that case also, two or more parties, when they join, then they choose a person who is the leader, who becomes the PM. Now once the PM is elected, okay, then the PM selects number of ministers according to his or her preference, and submits the list to the president. So the prime minister now selects his council of ministers, and he makes a list and submits it to the president. Now the council of ministers are basically there are three ranks in the council of ministers. One is the cabinet minister, then the ministers of the state, and the deputy ministers. Deputy means the vice ministers, you can say. Cabinet ministers are the head of the council minister. They are the highest rank, and they have the greatest responsibility also. Like I told you that there are several fields which are given to cabinet ministers. One minister is looking after education, one minister is looking after health, one minister is looking after the poverty, or you can say the food supply, and there are many such ministers as per the requirement of the prime minister. If the prime minister makes a long list and submits it to the president, once it is approved, he can have those number of cabinet members. Okay, now cabinet holds the real executive power of the Indian government and is collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. If any of the cabinet ministers is found unworthy, or you can say that is not worthy, he is found guilty, and if there is no confidence vote passed against any one cabinet minister also, the whole council has to resign immediately. So children, this is again one more very, very important, you can say a feature of the council of ministers, or you can say a shortcoming, that if one cabinet minister is found guilty of maybe corruption or any other unfair means, then or a no confidence vote is passed against one council of minister also, then the whole council of ministers have to resign. Okay, so this was the cabinet. Now the cabinet is the inner core of ministers. So as we discussed that this is the main basic part or executive who's functioning among the council of ministers. Okay, then we have some civil servants also, like if you must be aware of many civil exams like UPSC and IAS. All those, these are the competitive exams which are used for entering these services, the civil services. These are called the civil servants. the IAS, the Indian Administrative Services, the Indian Foreign Services, the Indian Police Services. So these are the civil servants, means that they are just taking care that whatever is being passed by the authorities is being taken right by the people or not. Okay, so this again, these do not belong to any political party. Okay, these civil servants, they are chosen by the help of by the way of exams that are conducted. So children, with this we finish with this chapter, and in the online class we'll be marking the question answers. Your homework is to do the objective type questions at the back of the chapter. Thank you.